Hey guys, it's Kristen Cooper, your home loan gal here. Just wanted to take a minute and walk through some information here. I'm getting a lot of questions around should I buy or should I wait? As you know, the market today, there's a lot of things going on. And so there's a lot of questions out there that people are just not sure of. So I wanted to jump on here and just provide some education, provide some information. I think it's really important that people have this information and that there's transparency because there's a lot of opportunity that's being missed because it's just not properly explained and the education is not there. So we're going to walk through a couple different strategies here, but just know this is based on this scenario. I would love to go over the options for you specifically and dive deeper. There may be even more opportunity for you that we can unravel and some different structuring that we can do. And that's what I do as a mortgage planner. I love finding solutions and strategies for you to help save you more money and build wealth. So let's talk through the strategy. So we're going to say Mr. Homeowner is purchasing a home at $650,000. And he says, I just don't know if I should buy this home. Should I just wait until rates drop or what should I do? I'm always going to look at the data, the facts, the numbers, and kind of see where we're at. So let's just run through this one. So this one, if we're purchasing at $650,000, assuming 10% down, and we're just going to say a 7.5% rate. Rates adjust all day. They're changing. The market's up, it's down, but just know that I'm a work at a broker, and so that means we shop over 80 different lenders. You're going to get the best rates and pricing and structure, and we'll talk more about that. But just based on this scenario, we're just going to say it's a 7.5% interest rate, and the total payment, including property taxes and insurance, we're looking roughly at 49, 30, 60. That includes property taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance, and then your principal and interest, which is your true 30-year mortgage to pay off the mortgage and the interest for borrowing the money. So if that's your payment, what we have to look at is a couple considerations. And I think this is where there's a lack of education and information that's really important. So what we want to look at here is going to be what is the tax benefit and overall payment that I'm going to be looking at when purchasing this home. So in this scenario, it is a joint couple filing head of household. And so we're looking at a normal tax bracket for them. Now, there is a standard deduction, and you have that's applied, but then you have any overage if you do an itemization of interest deduction that you get to write off in your taxes. What does that mean? Well, that means depending on your tax bracket of where you are, you may even get more money than this. At the end of the year, when you file your taxes, you get that tax benefit. So although it's showing $915 a month here, you won't physically get $915 in this mortgage, but your tax liability is going to be reduced. So that means that you can either change your employer deductions to where you get more money back each month so that you can afford the mortgage payment, or you get a bigger refund at the end of the year. But it's really important that you figure that number out and that we look at that as an option because that's part of your affordability. If buying this home gives you an additional deduction off your taxes, that means more income in your pocket each year, which now can be used on a monthly basis to be able to pay the mortgage payment. So one factor is your tax benefit. You also have what's called your principal, which is part of your monthly payment. You are going to be paying down your loan balance. So part of that $49.30 that you're paying each month doesn't just go to buying a house and paying the lender for borrowing the money. Part of it is paying down your loan balance, which is now your equity. I call it forced savings because you have to make your mortgage payment every month, so you're kind of forced to save it. But that portion that you pay down each month now is your savings in your home, which is how you build so much wealth. That and appreciation and tax benefits is what helps you build wealth through home ownership. So in this scenario here, you can see the cash to close is, roughly $78,724. That's for the down payment and all the costs associated with purchasing. And again, your scenario could be different, so we'll go over your numbers. But you say, you know what, Kristen, what if I wait and I purchase, later when rates drop? So when rates come down to, let's say, 5.25. Now, a lot of people can give their opinion as to where rates are going to go. I personally don't think that we're going to see the twos, maybe not even the threes again, but I do think that we could potentially approach the fours. I think that's reasonable. I'm being conservative and just saying 5.25 in this scenario, but I do think that we're going to get to lower rates than what that is. So you're going to have even bigger benefit. But assuming 5.25, if you wait until rates drop, there's a couple things you have to consider. Every market, you have to consider things. Whenever you're in a market where interest rates are lower, that means there's more buyers in the market. And when there's more buyers in the market and there's still low inventory, which we're going to continue to have a low inventory issue for many years, that means it's going to drive up the price. So then we're going to be back to where, COVID, when rates dropped, we had, 20 offers on homes. And whenever you have that many offers, everybody's outbidding everybody else. And now you're overpaying for the home. You're paying above, even what it appreciated. So being conservative, let's just say that later when rates drop, that home is now worth 700,000. So whether that be an appreciation or you're having to bid over in order to get your offer accepted, you're now paying 700,000. Well, that now means that your loan amount's going to be higher because it's a higher purchase price. And now that means that yes, your payment's going to be lower. So now your payment's only 43.76 versus the 49.30. So payment wise, sure, it's going to be more affordable. But you also have to consider that now your cash to close is higher. Your tax benefit is going to be less because your interest is less here, right? So you have to look at all of those numbers as well. But now you have to come out of pocket with more money. And sure, your payment is lower, but now you owe 630,000 versus 585,000. The other strategy and the opportunity in this market is that if you can afford to purchase this home today at 650,000 and your payment is 49.30 a month, you readjust your budget, you readjust where you're investing maybe in your 401k or other things right now to be able to take advantage of the massive opportunity that you're going to get. Well, when rates drop in a year or two, then you now can go over and, take your loan amount. So, I mean, it's going to be less by that point because you're going to pay it down. But let's just say that it's 585, right? The same that it was when you bought it. It's going to be less, but again, conservative. 5.25. Look, now your payment potentially could be 39.29. So sure, you can buy today and your payment's 49.30, but when rates drop, you still got the home for 650,000. You only paid, had a loan amount of 585, which means it's even less today. So your payment overall is going to be way more cheaper in the future if you buy today and get a lower rate in the future when they drop. Now, if you buy later, as you could see, you owe more. So now you owe 630,000 and your payment's going to be 43.76. So your payment's going to be, $400 and something more long term if you wait to buy. Take it a step further. If you're renting right now and you're paying $27.50 even a month, that's $33,000 a year. So every year that you wait, not only are you not taking advantage of the opportunity of being able to pay less for the home and to get a lower payment in the future than if you were to wait to buy, you lost all the money that you paid for rent. So this is the strategy, and some people will call it house hacking, to where if you buy today and you can readjust your affordability by readjusting your budget, finding more money, reducing other investments for the moment so that you can invest in this, what if you end up, getting an extra $100,000 by buying today and then being able to restructure your mortgage? And that's what we're seeing with clients today. I have many clients, come to me with the same question, should I buy or not? And once we go through this information and you see the opportunity that you can have and you take advantage of it, I get to have those wonderful conversations with you in a year or two, calling you and saying, great news, rates have dropped, and we be able to get you a new loan, lower payment, lower interest rate. And then we talk about other wealth options that we have. Do we strategize now into a lower term? Do you just take the payment savings? There's so much opportunity if you have the right team that's working with the right mortgage options for you to strategize and make sure that you have the opportunity to take advantage of all the wealth that's being created in this market today. So give me a call today. You can book an appointment. Let's see what your options are and see if it makes sense for you. If it doesn't, I'm going to help prepare you so that you're in a good position when rates do drop. Because like I said, when rates drop, it's not going to be the best environment for buyers. You're going to have to make sure that you are as clean as possible, that you have the best credit, that you have, solid income, that you have assets, that you have savings. And so let's create that plan, even if today is not the right time, so that you're in a great position when you are ready to jump into the market.